Great card. Great card. Listen, I talked to these guys before the fight. Every time people shit on one of the cards, it turns out to be amazing. And it's a great card. Everybody on this card fought hard, and it was very tough to pick the bonuses tonight. So everybody here tonight can expect a check in the mail that didn't already get a bonus.
So yeah,
thank you guys very much.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to kind of tee it up for you there.
I got it.
Given the attendance, I mean, we're not used to seeing that up here. We're used to 18,000, 20,000. So
right. Listen, it happens. You're not going to hit the cover off the ball every time you do an event. You know, we had 2 title fights. Dillashaw hurt his rib and he's out. Rampage is in. He's out. He's in. You know, it was a weird card. You know, it's the business we're in. Pun intended. We roll with the punches, and you know, we came in here. Let me tell you what. The 10,154 that showed up here tonight got a great show.
So, I don't know if you noticed or not, but after the 4th round, people were walking out.
I didn't notice. I don't give a shit what people are doing. I'm watching the fight.
Right. So I mean, that obviously speaks to what you've said all along, which is don't judge it, before it's in the books.
That's it.
Talk to me a little bit about
it's like
your
walking
friend.
out when you think your basketball team losing,
Sure.
and they come back and win the game.
Yeah. Talk to me about DJ's finish and kind of what that says about him as a champion, and where do you put him right now in that top three?
You know what's kind of sad? It's kind of sad that Demetrious Johnson has kind of got this thing hanging over his head that, you know, he's not this, he's not that. The guy, if you understand anything about mixed martial arts and you watch what was going on there tonight against a tough guy like Horiguchi who can knock you out at any time and has great wrestling, what Demetrious Johnson was able to do in that fight and literally break him down the whole fight, then goes for the armbar at the end. The guy's incredibly his cardio is unbelievable. His speed, like Rogan always says, he's the fastest guy in the sport, and he is technically perfect. He does everything the exact way he's supposed to. He comes in with a game plan and follows it to the letter. You know, he's just one of these guys who's just got to put his head down, keep doing his thing, and you have to respect him. Anderson Silva wasn't the biggest star ever while he was champion. Chuck Liddell wasn't a big star for a while, and his day will come.
Gotcha. Rampage, congrats on the win. Welcome back. We saw you working a lot of different strikes tonight than we've seen you do in the past. Was that all part of the game plan, or did that just happen kind of in the flow of things?
To be honest, I was just happy not to be fighting somebody that was desperate to take me down. When you fighting like a real man, a real MMA fighter, somebody who's gonna, fight, stand and bang with you, you don't have to worry about, people desperate trying to take you down. So you can, let the kicks go, let the knees go. You can do things. I was about to do a flying knee, but he was doing a great job. I wanted to go out there and show out.
When he did take you down, did you laugh inside? I mean, did this really just happen?
I knew he was training wrestling, and it shocked me a little bit. I was training wrestling also, but it shocked me a little bit. He had a little sneaky trip, but I kept the show going. I wasn't gonna let it stop me.
This is kind of like a vindication type win for you, obviously, with the ups and downs of the legal process. And then, what's next for you at this point? Because do you still have to deal with these legal ins and outs now?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, this is like the most stressful time in my whole career. I've been fighting for 15 years, and I never had to deal with what I had to deal with just to get here. I hope I never have to deal with that again. But like I said before, I'm a fighter. I fight everything, every little thing. I don't even know why I fight half the stuff I fight. Ask my kids. I fight them all the time. I fight everything. I want to win. And, what I'm saying? I felt like I won just by making it here to Canada, I'm not worried about what they do because I want to give Dana and Lorenzo big thanks. They had my back, they helped me out, and I'm just saying right now, I was over there. Bellator can't fuck with the UFC, so I ain't scared. I ain't gonna lie.
Mr. Bisping, congrats on your win tonight.
Thank you.
How badly did he have you hurt in the first round, and what was that recovery process like going into the second?
Yeah, it's weird. I wasn't necessarily hurt. Of course, it was a decent shot and he put me down, but I completely had my faculties about me. I knew where I was. I knew what was going on. I also knew that 1 second I was on my feet trading shots, and the next minute I was on my ass. And I was like, oh, shit, this isn't going according to plan, but I was fine. I was okay.
We talked the other day about how you've never lost 2 straight. Is there something about having your back against the wall coming off a loss that makes you perform particularly better?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I'm always as motivated as I possibly can be going into every fight, you know. But I don't know. You know, I mean, I love doing this. I love being a part of this sport. I love being a part of the UFC, and I want to do it for a long time. And losing two in a row doesn't go hand in hand with being one of the best in the world. And I think I am. I know I can get that belt one day. You know, I've just got to keep winning fights, though.
This is for Thomas, over here. Congrats on the win. I was just wondering, it was your second fight in the UFC, but this was obviously like a way bigger stage, pay-per-view, and you got a big win. So I was just wondering if the experience of fighting on such a big stage was anyway different than you would have expected, and where you're going from now after this big win.
É a primeira vez que vai ser.
Go ahead, babe. Yeah.
É a primeira vez que vai ser a luta num evento, a sua segunda luta aqui no UFC, e é a primeira vez que vai ser a luta num evento tão grande que é pay-per-view. Como é que foi sua experiência lutar num evento tão grande e o que você vê daqui para frente?
Bom, isso é uma coisa que me motiva muito a trabalhar cada vez mais para estar entre os melhores mesmo. E bom, saí muito bem, foi o que eu consegui, o que eu queria mesmo, e consegui trazer a vitória. Isso é o mais importante.
Well, that's what makes me motivate and keep me pushing forward. I just did what I came to do. I came here looking for the finish the fight, and I got that. So that just keep me motivated to keep doing what I do and keep pushing forward. I'm here to do whatever I need to.
And then for John Makdessi, obviously congrats on your huge win. I mean, I know all this means very much to you, so could you just kind of describe what went through your mind when you finished him on the pay-per-view first time on the main card in your hometown?
Well, for me, it's always about the fans, always giving the fans an exciting fight. You know, I dedicated my whole life to mixed martial arts, and Chen Campbell was a top competitor, K1 champion, Muay Thai world champion. It was a tough fight for me, bigger 155er, and I'm just happy that I'm able to showcase, you know, a great performance tonight and show the fans, you know, an exciting fight.
And he landed quite a few leg kicks, so did they start to hurt you a little bit, or did you kind of take matters into your own hand before it could get really bad?
I mean, in a fight, it's a fight. You know what I mean? You have to adjust and you have to compromise. You know, to make a fight exciting, you gotta take risks, and you know, you know, it's a blow for a blow. And it's you know, for me, I gotta come in the pocket and take some blows for me to able to exchange with him.
Do you have any plans? What's next for you, or do you just take whatever fight the UFC gives you?
We'll see. I can't really forecast the future.
Thank you.
Dana.
Yeah.
Chandler Priest has been doing very well.
Unbelievable.
I
love that fight, man.
Yeah, it was great.
Both guys in that fight. It was a perfect fight at the perfect time in these two young guys' career. I think they both fought great fights. I love that fight.
All right, so what's next for Chandler Priest? Do you have
big things, man. He looked great tonight. I think tonight was a really good test for him. He fought a big, strong, tough kid who kept coming forward and pressing forward. In the third round, he was trying to break him. He didn't break. He kept throwing even though he was exhausted. You know, big test for him tonight, and he looked great doing it, and I expect big things from this kid. He looked great tonight.
And thank you very much. Considering the attendance tonight in Montreal, what's the strategy for the UFC or UFC Canada to keep growing the sports in Quebec and Montreal?
We're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Like I said, this is one of those. Last year was the craziest year in the company's history. I would have never believed in a million years that could happen, but it did. You know, and then we come here, and like I said, you know, the main event falls off. Then Rampage is in, he's out, he's in, and you know it's been a real crazy promotion leading up to this fight. But we came up here. Everybody on this card fought their ass off.
Yeah.
You know, the card was unbelievable, great fights, and a lot of young talent on this card. So, I mean, what are we going to do different in Canada? Not a damn thing. We're going to keep doing what we've been doing for the last however many years, and you know. You can't predict what's going to happen. Sometimes you just got to roll with it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dana, in November at the Time Is Now press conference, you talked about Montreal, Toronto, and Calgary for 2015. Do you have any sense of whether Toronto and Calgary are still on?
Calgary is what I'm focused on. I owe Calgary a fight. I owe them a fight, and we're going to see. Obviously, what's determining whether we go to Calgary or not right now is what happens in New York. Okay? So people in Calgary should be pulling for no New York, and the rest of the world should be pulling for New York, okay? So we'll see what happens.
So that means we're looking at December, possibly.
Yes.
Okay. Does it help? I mean, some Canadians put on some pretty good performances. Does it help with this market?
Canada
seeing
kicked
guys-
some ass tonight, man. It was unbelievable. The Canadians came out tonight. They shined. There's absolutely, positively future stars that fought here tonight. It was awesome.
And then with The Ultimate Fighter doing gym versus gym, I know the guys at TriStar have been talking about they're willing to do it with anybody.
Who do they hate?
So it's a possibility?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how this season does. You know, this season around episode 5, it goes off and it gets really good. So I think the people are really going to love this season. We'll see how it plays out, and hopefully we can keep doing this because it would be fun to do these different gyms.
And then, Demetrious, there were some boos early on, and then the crowd really erupted at the end of that 4th round. Did that mean anything to you, knowing that you'd really won them over?
Yeah, you know, my record got broken not too long ago for the latest finish, and I figured if I waited to the last second, you know, no way we all to beat it unless they go to 6 rounds. So that's what we're focused on.
He meant to do that.
Yes.
And then, Chad, you had talked about Canadians really, you young guys wanted to show that this next generation is here. Looking at what you guys all did tonight, do you feel like you guys accomplished that?
Yeah, you know, I believe the proof's in the pudding. You know, all of us came out and we fought hard. Like I said earlier on in the week, that some people were dogging this card, and I said that I was going to come out and bring fireworks, and I ended up delivering.
And then, Olivier, before you got your finish, there was a moment where you looked pretty close, and that you looked up at the judges. I'm just wondering what was going on there.
Yeah, actually, I kicked him in the liver, and Eve told me, "No, it's a nut shot." I was like, "I don't think it's a nut shot. It's in the liver, you know." And he said, "Stop, stop, stop!" And I said, "No, no, no." So, and so he said, "Okay, continue, continue." So yeah, that's what happened.
So all you have to do is argue with the ref, and you can continue. Apparently.
So that's basically what happened.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
Dave from the Hammer MMA. Quick question for John Makdessi. John, you were originally scheduled to fight Abel Trujillo for this fight before Shane Campbell stepped in. Is that a fight that still interests you, or would you like a different competitor, something higher level now?
I think at this point in my career, I have to prove myself, and it doesn't really matter. For me, it's about proving myself and getting to the title contention.
Question for Alexis Davis and for Olivier Mercier. There was some unusual reffing in both of your fights. Yves Levine spotted a kick as being a low kick, and Alexis, your referee, was out of position to spot your armbar finish. Were you content with the officiating tonight?
Well, it worked out for me, so yeah, you know, he just wasn't in the right position, and I you know, I'd have to go back and look at the footage, but you know, as soon as like she was able to kind of verbalize it, then the ref was on it. But you know, it just happens. It just happens. It happens all the time. You know, if you don't get on the right angle and you don't see it, or you know, depending on how they're tapping, sometimes just stuff like that happens.
And lastly, a final quick question for Kyoji Horiguchi. Kyoji, you're such a young fighter to the sport, and this was such a big challenge so early in your career. Would you like to revisit a fight with Demetrious Johnson after you've had some more time to develop as a fighter?
まだ教授は若い年齢なんですけども、今回そのタイトルマッチでチャレンジしたんですけど、また、トレーニングを積んでですね、ジョンソンに挑戦したいと思いますか？
まあもちろんもう一回チャレンジしたいと思ってます。
Of course, if you have a chance, I want to face Johnson again.
All right, both of my questions are for Rampage. Rampage right here, this right here. All right, hi, Pace from Pace's Playground Podcast. My first question is, GSP said after his Condit fight that a fighter may prepare for a comeback in MMA, but nothing could prepare you for a comeback into the octagon. So did you experience that octagon rust tonight?
Well, you know, the last time I fought was in last May. Close to my hometown. You know, I have no excuses. You know, I wasn't rusty or nothing. This is the hardest I ever trained in my whole 15-year career of training. You know, I started back training with Bobby Rimmer. He's like one of the best boxing coaches I've ever seen, I ever trained with, and he pushed me to the limits. He pushed me to points that I didn't think I could even perform, and I got no excuses. I just think that Fabio is not human. I hit that guy with everything, and he was asking for some more. I'm like, damn. And I even tried to kick him in the head, like, what the? You know, I didn't think he would see that coming. I didn't know what to do. I was thinking about blowing my bad breath on him and then follow the combo, but I didn't think that would work either, so I just kept trying.
All right, just on a personal note, I think that your T-shirt design is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
The old Nintendo design. Were you a huge Punch-Out fan back in the days?
Oh, hell yeah, but I couldn't get past Soda Pop.
Soda Popinski?
Yeah.
That was your hard one?
I couldn't get past him, but I still love the game. I still play it every now and then, every time I see somebody with it. You know, I'm a big Mike Tyson fan. Actually, people don't know this, but in my neighborhood growing up, before like the people outside of my house knew that my nickname was Rampage, my nickname was Rampage. I mean, Mike Tyson. Sorry, Fabio hit me a couple times too hard. Yeah, people call me Mike Tyson because I used to fight with my shirt off. And so whenever I walk down the street with my shirt, there go Mike Tyson, there go Mike Tyson. So I'm a big fan of his. So yeah, I'll be biting his style for a couple more years.
Cool. If you think that your fight tonight was tough, you've never beaten Tyson on the Nintendo, let me tell you.
No.
That's a tough fight.
I can't even make it to Tyson on Nintendo.
All right, thank you.
Question for Alexis. Obviously coming off of the title fight that didn't go your way, it was a very quick fight, and then you get this to avenge a loss that you had before somebody was in the top 5. What does this all mean for you, this fight, getting this victory, and the way you did it?
It means I'm back. You know, it's just something I needed to do. I needed to push myself and work myself and put myself back into, earshot. I want to work my way up, and I want another shot, obviously, at that title. And whoever the UFC gives me, I don't care who it is, and I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight tomorrow.
You were getting marked up in that first round a little bit. It looked like it wasn't going your way.
I always look like this after every fight.
But
flick me and I'm swollen.
You were able to take advantage in the second round. At the moment, you just seized the moment and really took the fight. Are you happy with your performance ultimately in the end?
Yeah, it kind of helps when you start to listen to your corners. I didn't do that too much in the first round, but the second round sat me down, had a little chat. Things started to click, and that's when I kind of put things together and, obviously was able to capitalize and get the win.
And one quick one for Bisping down here. It looked like CB was talking to you in the second round a little bit. What was he saying to you?
We were just having a little back and forth regarding our finger positioning. I know he's poked a couple of people in the eye a couple of times. And, I've had eye troubles over the years, so I was like, ref, he's got his fingers open here, and then in the second or third, I had mine open. He's like, hey, Bisping, you got your fingers open, so, yeah, kind of a stupid conversation that we were having. We're both giving each other shit about our finger positioning. There you go. How about that? Yeah. You got your fingers open. Well, I'm going to punch you in the face in a minute. Well, just make sure it's a fist, okay, and not a finger, and then we're good.
This question is for Rampage. Right over here. Straight ahead. Right here. Straight ahead. Rampage, you mentioned that...
when you own it, you can leave.
Damn.
Rampage, you mentioned that you liked the fight with Fabio because he was going to stand and trade with you. He wasn't going to take you down. Is there anyone next that you want to fight that fits that mold that you'd like to fight?
Well, honestly, I want to come back and beat everybody that beat me. I want to fight Shogun, Glover, Rashad, and make my way back up to John Jones. I'm on a mission, and that's the honest truth.
Good stuff. This question's for John Makdessi. Congratulations on the win. Did you feel like the ref? I mean, after you knocked Campbell down the first time, were you surprised that the referee didn't stop the fight sooner? Because you knocked him down a couple times.
I mean, my job is to just do what I'm trained to. At the end of the day, of course, I was aware my opponent was down, but the referee didn't step in, so I had no choice to continue.
And was this the most satisfying victory of your career, being first time on the pay-per-view, winning in Montreal, obviously getting the knockout and everything like that?
Yes, I'm very fortunate. I'm very happy to be able to perform and to give the fans an exciting fight.
And we're hearing August 23rd is potentially going to be the next Canadian show. We don't know where yet. Is that a fight card that you're potentially looking at fighting on?
I mean, I'm not really looking that ahead of me. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens to the future. We'll see what happens.
For Michael, your right eye, I guess, is visibly different from your left eye. That's from a previous injury, or this has nothing to do with tonight's fight?
No. It's I have oil inside the eye, which is a preventative measure for the retina ever redetaching again. So, yeah, no injuries tonight. You know, CB dropped me with a couple of punches, but other than that, I'm good to go. I'll see you at the bar pretty soon.
Thomas, oi. So, fala em inglês. My question is, after your previous fight, you said that you had wanted to use that bonus money to get your own place to live. Now, you've gotten out of 2 fights, 2 bonuses. So, what are you doing with your money? As far what are your plans?
Você falou que você estava planejando comprar uma casa quando você chegar com os dinheiros dos bônus. E agora que você ganhou seu segundo bônus em 2 lutas, o que você está planejando fazer com o dinheiro?
Agora eu vou juntar os 2 bônus e vou comprar uma casa maior, com certeza.
Now I'm putting together the 2 bonuses I got and I'm getting a bigger place.
Just a quick one for you, Michael. You've made it pretty vocal over your last 2 fights, and maybe even your last 3 fights, if I remember correctly. You make it a point to say, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm going for that title." Do you feel like people are trying to put you out to pasture too early? I mean, is that?
No, not at all. Listen, you know, the results speak for themselves, and you know, I lost my last fight against Luke Rockhold. What can you say? You know, a loss is a loss. So. The middleweight division now is more stacked than what it's ever been, and the guys inside the top 5, they've had better performances lately. You know, they've won fights, and I've lost a couple here and there. You know, I won one, lost one, won one, lost one, and that's not good enough. You know, you're only as good as your last fight. Tonight was a great fight, but it wasn't the performance I wanted. I wanted a stoppage, but you know, it was a good win over a top 10 opponent, and hopefully I continue that form in the summer. Hopefully when I do that, then I'll start talking about a title shot. But, you know, yeah, no one's putting me out to pasture. And as I said many times, I ain't going nowhere.
Thanks. One for
Okay.
DJ.
Just have one last question over here, okay?
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Demetrious, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
In Vancouver, you were asked about a rematch against John Dodson. It seems like we're kind of sort of in that same place. John Dodson has a fight coming up next month. Have you changed your opinion on that, or is that a fight that interests you at this point? Now that
No, not at all. I've never shied away from any rematch or a fight from anybody in the flyweight division. I'm just not a person who goes out there and seeks it. The champion doesn't seek challenges. Challenges find me. So yeah, that's where we're at. If he gets past Zach Markovsky, then we can get him up again.
Okay, everyone. Thanks very much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.